Perfect. And now I should have access. So typically, like what we'd want to do on this call is before you go live with these at 12, we'd want to make sure this is structured in a way that'll best suit you for generating results and get you consistent results.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, let's look at these audiences you have just to confirm. Okay, so these are open audiences, is that correct?
Yeah, they're pretty much
Okay,
all.
so
I think two of them have like one. I think beach. I have just beach.
essentially, instead of splitting out the products by ad set, you should have all the products in one ad set and then essentially allow the algorithm to decide which product's going to generate the best results, because like that's going to be the easiest way to allow the system to understand which one gets the most results. And before we end up launching these, also it's a good thing to know, out of all these candles, do you already know which one gets the most sales?
It's these nuts.
Okay. And by how much more does this one get sales?
I don't have numbers for you, but significantly more than the others.
Okay, perfect. Then like,
And all this
is
data
it,
is from Amazon, by the way. It's
yeah,
barely any traffic to the site.
okay. And how many sales for that one specifically?
To the website or through Amazon?
Amazon.
I don't have any of those numbers on me. He's supposed to send me all those.
Okay. Do you happen to know if it's in the thousands, hundreds, only a
I know,
couple?
I know total each month he's doing 100,000.
Okay, perfect. And if this one's winning by a significant margin, then that's mainly the one that you'd want to move forward with.
Yeah.
Is it a requirement that you run ads for all of the candles?
No, he just chose these 8, and then my copywriter wrote for these 8. I think they're his most popular, except for
Okay,
the curse word ones. But
perfect. Then what we'll do is we'll select these, and since your copywriter already wrote for these and you essentially already have all them set up, rather than like deleting them, we'll just turn them off for
okay.
now. We'll save them to draft, so that way you always have them in your back pocket. But the main
Mm-hmm.
thing is like you want to promote your best seller to get that thing kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is if this doesn't get approved because of the language,
Right.
uh, then you have all those as a backup, which is totally fine. We just keep going down the line.
Okay.
And we'll just start with publishing the one that generates the most results, because if it's already getting a lot of sales, then people are probably going to like it anyways.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then let's just double check the language real quick here. He already wrote it and proofread it.
Yeah. It could have been more.
Yeah, this is fine. Oh
Just
yeah, I'm not worried about this getting disproved. Yeah, so these are fine. Cool.
could have been a lot more edgy with these, but we got to keep it,
Yeah, no, these are totally fine. All right, this one's, so I just also add in the dash here and name it open.
Okay.
And then I would automatically publish this one right now, and then we can talk about what we do next.
Okay.
So that way we just first make sure this one gets approved. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
So we publish this, and now we'll leave these others. So now we duplicate this into its own campaign.
Okay.
And we'll just like title it like non-CBO interest testing, because you said on the website they don't have a lot of sales yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll just go with this, because essentially we want to do non-CBO because we want to first make sure that we split the budgets across the ad set level to decide early on what works automatically.
Okay.
And then we'll switch it to a CBO whenever we do know. But the first thing is, since we already know this candle gets the most sales, we'll go ahead and just start doing interest around candles.
Okay.
Because candle buyers love to buy candles and stuff like that. So we'll stick with this.
Right.
We'll do candle as an audience to start.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave everything else completely open. The only thing we're going to do here is just copy the name, and you're going to paste it at the top.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yep.
Just so that way we have an easy naming convention. And then what we're going to do is we're going to publish this really quickly. Oops, not that one. We're going to publish this one. And what we'll do next is make sure that these ads have the existing post IDs. So that way we stack social proof on all your ads. We don't want a bunch of ads that don't have the same social
Yeah.
IDs, because then you're just going to get 1 to 2 likes on each and nothing will ever stack. And the
Especially
momentum won't be as severe.
Especially these, you think people will share at least.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, for sure. And now that these are published, then the only thing we're going to do is just hit preview and let the ads populate. And then we're just going to hit use existing post. And there you go. They all just populated again, so we know it worked. Then we just hit publish. And now these are all using existing posts. And we don't have to go copy and paste post IDs. That was the easiest way to do it, is the way we just did it. It's a quick hack.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the only thing we're going to do on the ad set level is just start duplicating from here. So we'll just start duplicating again. So we're going after a candle audience. We want the audiences to be above 1.2 million. So that way they have a higher opportunity to scale.
Okay.
The next thing we'll do is for stuff like this.
Wouldn't you agree that you don't even need just to have candle, like targeting candle people that buy candles or have interest in candles, because these are type of candles that anyone would buy, you know?
Sure, yeah. And so the next audience, and you're exactly correct, we're going to go to gift because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So like these don't have to be candle lovers, these are just gifts. People buy candles as gifts, and it's, you know, it has a play on it, so it's even better. Now it's 505 million, so like it's huge audience.
Yeah.
We're just doing that to get some direction.
Right.
And we'll just keep going down this line until we fill up the budget.
Okay.
So like next thing could be gift shop. You know, we could continue down. We just type in candle again in here and just look. You know, you could do candle wick.
Mm-hmm.
You could do the Sensi's, because I saw some bars in there that could be melted down and stuff like that.
Yep. So you think my original setup was wrong, or is just a different approach?
You don't want to run ads, the same products in different ad sets, unless it's a requirement by you wanting to promote all product lines.
Okay.
Otherwise, you might as well just let them compete against each other. And then at that point, if you already know which one's the best seller, then there's no sense in even letting them compete, because in the end, it'll end up proving up to be a winner anyways.
Right. Who cares if we sell 100 D's nuts or 50 blueberry blue balls, you know? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, and sometimes even if you did end up selling more of another product and it ended up becoming a winner, great, but guess what? Which one do you think they probably have more inventory of? Probably the best seller.
Yeah.
So you could end up selling out a product they didn't even know could have done well, but that becomes an issue. So you might as well just go with the best seller anyways, because they always typically have the highest amount of stock anyways in place. So 5 million, that's good. You said the budget's $83, or what exactly was that?
Let me do the. It's $2,500 for the month, so let's just. How about, yeah, $83.
Yeah. So what's another audience you think?
Um. Like funny gifts or something, or just like something related to humor.
Could target humor.
The good thing about this client is there's no base fee. It's just a per candle. And I thought about doing a base fee, and then I was like, I think this will do pretty well.
For sure.
Getting $5 every candle, so
that could be quite lucrative.
exactly. especially with the holidays coming up. It's just like the perfect gift, you know?
Exactly.
Who wouldn't want their aunt or uncle to open up one of these in front of everyone?
Yeah, for sure. So Spencer Gifts, that's one thing.
Okay.
It's like a place that sells like gag gifts and stuff. This will probably be a top performing audience for sure. Just let me know how close we are to filling up the budget here. I believe this should be the last audience.
Yeah, it's the last one. Actually, no, one more.
Yeah, we have the open audience in the other one as well.
Okay, yeah.
Hot Topic, that's another gag gift place. You know these places?
Yeah.
They fit nicely with the branding of the product, essentially.
Sure.
This one is, these are starting to break into the actual streetwear, but is there anything you see here that falls in line? These brands all run pretty closely. Well, no, not down there, but these all run pretty and seam together once you're up here.
Zumiez is getting a little far off.
Yeah, it starts to break into the actual streetwear branding, but the gifting is really the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Do gift shop. And then just remove these two. Yeah, and that'd be like your last one.
Okay. So
And then, go ahead.
Jinx. So essentially, you just set up everything for D's Nuts, and you ran all different ad sets targeting different audiences in each one.
That's correct.
And what happens if, let's say, one, it gets denied, or two, we want to just run other candles? If it's like not performing well, let's say, in a week from now, you know, if this call and everything sucks, do I change candles? What do I do then?
For sure. Yeah. Well, hopefully that wouldn't happen. And I find it extremely unlikely that it would. But if in the event that it does, then yeah, that's why you have those others as a backup. You could instantly. I would recommend going straight to pumpkin spice than just playing on the Halloween thing. I mean, that alone will be a winner.
That's his like second best seller. It's doing actually really well.
Yeah, there you go.
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah, exactly. So like, especially with Halloween coming in, yeah, for sure that thing would take off. And you might even run that for Halloween with this specific candle, just because the holiday alone will drive down the price of it so much. So, you know, you could really play off October, that entire month of just sales, and then eventually turn it off as time goes on.
Right. Okay. And
yeah, you should be making an absolute, you know, a large amount of money off of this for sure. You'd want to scale it relatively quickly too.
That's why in about 2 weeks, I'm probably going to pay another $500 to get you back on the phone.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, this thing will be hemorrhaging cash very quickly.
Where is the where are the other ad sets that you turned off? Where'd they go?
So they're in this one.
Gotcha.
Here, they're all turned off. We can have them review and published right now if you'd like, but they're not going to run.
So they'll just be up, and then if you wanted to just set them up, then they would go.
Yep. So let's do that, just so that way you don't accidentally discard everything that was set up there.
Okay.
And then this one's in review, and essentially you're just hoping, okay. So they were disapproved, which is exactly what we wanted to find out. And 2 policies, 1 is no, it's not. 2, no, it is not. So you actually, is that correct? You don't actually violate any of that. It's not a drug and it's not illegal. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so all you gotta do is just hit request review and hit submit.
Okay. How long does that usually take?
Really quick, if 24 to 48 hours, but realistically, if everything is good, they'll approve it really soon. Okay, it's picking up on small batches and wax, and that's probably where this is getting, and all this other stuff that plays into that language.
So now they manually review it then?
Yeah, they'll come in here, they'll check it, and they'll see that it's a candle.
Okay. So you don't think the name D's Nuts plays into it at all?
It could, but it didn't. That wasn't what it was striked for.
Okay.
Inappropriate language isn't an issue. They're going to see this very quickly that it's totally fine.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Yeah, these should get approved. And if not, remember, you have those others just for this reason. I don't think you're going to have an issue with this. So these should be active pretty soon.
So if they get this approved, then you just go to the ad set level. And I would just start turning on the other ones, or would I have to repeat the process of copying those?
So you just go to account quality, and then you're going to first request a review.
Okay.
Like we just did. We need to do it again to make sure it goes through. Yeah, let's just refresh here to make sure that all this is going into review.
Okay.
So
which ones got rejected other than D's Nuts? Is there any others?
No. All these, they're just all being loaded in here. So you just got to keep resending these back into review. If it's a new account, it can take up to 48 hours. I don't foresee it taking that long. I think you'll get approval here pretty soon. For some odd reason, it's only doing one of these at a time. But if you just keep selecting these, this should start going through. Normally, when you select this box, you'll select all and send them into review. Yeah, so you'll just have to keep doing that, but make sure you are, because otherwise they'll never go back into review.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just wait on most of those to show up in here.
Okay. Do you want to just move on to the other account then real quick?
For sure.
Or do you want to keep hitting these in?
Yeah, let's go to the other account. And then what you'll do is you'll just come back and start doing these. It looks like it's doing them one by one, and hopefully it doesn't do that to you in a little bit. Just try to reload it and see if that works. Yeah.
All right. I'll just do that once we get off the call then, right?
Cool.
All right. Let me just move on to this then. All right. So this is my, I'm in PA. I'm from Jersey. I'm visiting my girlfriend for the weekend. So
Nice.
in the middle of nowhere out in literally
Yeah.
Amish County. So,
Gotcha. Cool.
how you been?
Good, good. Yeah, things are going great. Living the dream.
It's getting cold out here. Waking up and it's like 35 out. So,
It's like 90 over here.
all right. So this. All right. So yeah. So we launched this Monday night, and I remember watching your other video where you said if it goes over the $10, because the other video that I watched, the other account had $10 for their each ad set too, and you said if it goes over that, just shut it off. So a few of them went over, so I shut some of those off. I thought personally, I thought these would do better.
Let's
Like
see.
I go into a lot of these accounts thinking like, okay, like not high expectations. It's just like I know it's a process, takes time, but like I thought these would have way more shares, way more engagement, way more purchases. It just doesn't seem to be going as well as I thought.
Well, it's been a few days,
Mm-hmm.
so you got to give it time. So it does take time. Each week, if you're optimizing and everything, you're going to see your return on ad spend go up. I mean, just naturally. It's never perfect on the first run, and it has to go through the testing cycle. You got to get purchases, you got to get data, then you do lookalikes, and then you're not competing with everybody in the interest group testing because you're going off of lookalikes.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build up that data on the site. You have to find out the conversion rates. I mean, right now, like if we look at the ads, let's see, we go to the ad level, see who got all the purchases out of these four. It's looking like this image here is the one getting the purchases, but it's still early right now, just because. But ideally, as we get closer into October, you'll probably see like these things drop in costs as well. But yeah, I mean, this is a good start because you're actually getting purchases, so at least you know it's converting.
Right.
The main thing is, let's look at this one over here. It's just the, oh, okay, I got you. Okay, so you launched this one as well.
Yeah, there was a
Perfect.
few ad sets that just were like up to like $15. So I shut those off, and then I turned on pumpkin spice. That right away got a sale. Blueberry got a sale. So I was sticking with
Okay.
those, and I didn't turn on the rest of them. I was just doing those two. And
Okay.
Morning Wood's cost per click is actually the lowest. It's like 79 cents or something.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I mean, like essentially, what I'd do here is, I would raise this budget. I go up 15 on that one. All right. Let's go back over here. You still have this one active because any reason here?
The gift one. No, maybe the cost per click was good, but again, it doesn't matter if we're spent $17 and there's nothing. You should probably shut it off.
Yeah. Gift shop looks like it could have had some work. I would say, well, out of 3 link clicks. Oh wait, no, hold on. Gift shop did have 3 link clicks, but look, check this out. For whatever reason, there was 6 add to cart. So somebody probably added a couple more things to cart
Okay.
than your average person. You know, honestly, I might even say, oh wow, that person added a lot to cart. Yeah, you could probably run that one, leave it running a little bit longer. But these right here, so you're already down to 3, which is super quick.
I also noticed with a
Bump
lot
this
of
one
these,
up and spin.
people are ordering more than one thing usually when they're purchasing. A lot of these orders are three items and up. So at that point, you're already up
Great.
to $60.
Yeah, great. Okay, so essentially what we need to do is I say we go to the pumpkin spice and we grab this one here. We press Command C to copy it since it got a purchase. And remember how I said like you don't want the ads running in separate ones.
Right.
So we should just go ahead and add it to the candle
Okay.
audience. and put it in here because we know I got to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's add it and like run this one against the other one and see how it does.
Okay.
And then essentially you just put that in there, publish it, and now you have the pumpkin latte going up against those as well. And you still need some time to let these flush out. I'd say we got to increase spend faster. I mean, like, what is the budget on this again?
2,500 for the month.
Okay. Gotcha. So
his whole plan is for next month to just wholesale it to me, and I put up the ad spend and get 40% of the sales for the month, which I don't think is a bad idea.
Yeah, sure. I mean, certainly if you could work out the math with this here before that happens, yeah,
Right.
definitely, because you can guarantee yourself
So I think these
some numbers.
is just good, you know. And some of these ad sets now are getting a lot of shares, comments, just all of the emojis people are liking is all the laughing one, you know. And I don't think this isn't a difficult brand to explain to people. I think I don't know, you know more than me, but I think a lot of these products it's hard to explain right away in like a quick picture or video. But this is like it just captures your attention right away. Plus the copy I think is pretty funny, you know. Wake up with morning wood. I mean, I laugh on, and I was the one who wrote them, you know.
Yeah, they're gonna do great. Cool. So next step is I'd say take all of these actually to yeah, I would actually honestly just go to 20 on all these right now.
Okay.
Because yesterday alone you got like all of those purchases. So that pretty much tells me if that's going to happen, then I mean, let's just go ahead and increase the spend and allow the purchases to flow through rather than like letting it like trickle.
Okay.
The budget is set right here. Why is that not? So we can do the drop down and we can just do budget here.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we'll do is we'll just select the actual box and change it to 20. So automatically does it. Yeah, exactly. So that now should be getting purchases. So you should be getting purchases on this one today as well. Those are the edits there. On this side, I'd honestly duplicate pumpkin spice, duplicate it, original campaign, that's fine. And add in some more interest here. So like what's another one you would want to do?
The pumpkin spice latte, I think that's a good one.
For sure. So you just copy that, paste it at the top.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and duplicate and make another one, just repeat that process.
Okay, and then just keep doing one interest for each.
Yeah, and also there's another observation I noticed that I'd want to call out. So with the ads, first off, let's publish this real quick so we don't forget. When we look at the ads and we rank them by the top, the ones that got all the purchases is a small data set, but I mean, if we just look at it, this is the wax. So the wax is the one that's getting it. And then these two images here.
He said he sells way more wax than candles.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Which is, I thought would be the opposite, but.
Well, that's good news because then you could end up targeting audiences.
I have a question. Can you transfer over Amazon data to Facebook?
No,
No.
no, it's closed off. The only data you're going to get over there is age and demographics at best.
Okay. And is there
Yeah,
anything
you're not. No,
from
they
this?
don't. No. There's nothing you can get from it. They don't give out any information. It's
Is there anything we
completely
could pull
closed
from
circuit.
his Shopify page or no?
What is that?
Is there anything we could pull from his Shopify page that would help us or no? Because he has $2,000 a month in sales. It's not like it's nothing.
Here's what we could check. You would check your pixel here to see if there's even anything that is available to create as a lookalike audience. And if so, then we could start there. So you could do an add to cart lookalike. I wouldn't, yeah, you could do add to cart lookalike, if you content, those are the two I'd do. I wouldn't do anything else here. There's not enough data. You need 100 plus on these just for it to make sense. And then page views, I mean, that's really not going to be any relevant information here. Make sense?
Yep.
So to do that, we'd go back to your ads manager.
How much do you charge for hands-on for clients like your agency?
$2,750 per month plus 15% of ad spend.
Okay. Are a lot of your clients for the agency or through your coaching?
Pretty much both. I mean, it's a good healthy mix. Lots of people will join the program if they want to manage the Facebook ads and learn it. Lots of people in the program will transition into the agency once they got a good amount of results. A lot of our big businesses that already have agencies are switching agencies and coming to us. Then there's, the Fortune 100 companies where they only operate with multiple agencies. So that's where we manage them over there.
There's just so many moving parts, which I think is like what worries me about doing it on my own. Like there's so many different little things that you're doing here that I would never have even thought of.
Yeah, there is a lot. Yeah, and that's why it's nice to have a process broken down so you can go step by step and then understand the formatting of what to look for. So what you want to do now is like creating a lookalike audience. So we just go to this audience here, the candle one that we had, and that's the one we put the pumpkin latte in. And we just duplicate this and do new campaign, just non-CEO, and then we'll just do lookalikes.
Okay.
Duplicate. And we'll go after lookalikes. Lookalikes are nice because everybody can target an interest. Not everybody can target a lookalike. And the people who can target lookalikes, great, but they're not going to have the same exact audience as you because it's a lookalike of your audience, right? So like there's less auction competition. There's less worry of other people trying to get into your audience, which actually gives you a better bid cost. And it's more accurate because it's actually dynamic and always updating and changing based off, the actual data in your site, which is why it's imperative to send high quality stuff to your site. Because if you send a bunch of junk to the site and you have amazing click-through rates, but nobody's purchasing, well, you're sending bad traffic and it's going to end up being a negative feedback loop and totally destroy all your lookalikes. So you only want to send good traffic to the site, which is why you're cutting stuff so early, why you're cutting things so early on. Not because they're bad or not because you don't want to wait on them to find out if they're going to get purchases, but because you have a high standard and wanting to make sure that you're only getting the best quality traffic to the site to control it from the beginning to eventually allow it to run on its own.
Right.
So we'll remove this. We'll also deselect targeting expansion because we don't want that on the lookalikes for now. And then we're just going to hit create new. We'll create custom audience. We looked at your events manager. The two that we want to do are the view content and the add to cart. So we can start with the view content. We can do the 30 days because it had plenty within the 30 days. I just name it exactly what it is. There's no sense in naming it, something advanced whenever you can just name it what it actually is called so you can remember and know instantly. And anytime a Facebook rep pops in here, they're going to know instantly. Some people type in like numbers or letters and abbreviations, and it's just like, you have to think about it. Why waste the mind space? Create the audience. You'll then create a lookalike. You'll do the 1% because you want the 1% of the US, which is most accurately reflecting of the audience, 1% of the most likely people. You'll go up from 1% the moment it's getting a lot of sales. There's no sense in doing a bigger percentage until you're getting sales, a lot of it, like 10, 15, 20, 25, 50 within a week. Then it makes sense to go to a bigger one. We'll exclude on our lookalikes the purchases because there's no sense in having people get stuck into this audience when we're wanting to go after cold, totally new, cold traffic, because we don't want people who've already purchased. We can have a retargeting for people who've already purchased if we want to. We do 180 days so that we ensure we exclude the people who've been in here and purchased before. So now those people won't show up in this audience. Once we exclude them, we have to put them here, purchase. There it is, exclude people who are in purchases. We don't want those to show up again. Once they bought, they buy. We'll scroll back up, we'll paste this here. And that'll keep our first time impression ratio up, which is good. We'll stick to US, all genders, yep, all that. We'll keep all this. The only other thing we'll change here, we can switch this to 7-day click. All right, everything is here for the view content. The only other thing I'm going to do is double check. All right, so we know this one got a purchase. We know this one got a purchase. We know this one got a purchase. I'm gonna go see if this one here ever got a purchase, because there's no sense in adding this ad in again if it hasn't really worked at all. It might not have a lot of spin, but we're not here to give shots to everybody. We gotta go with who's winning right now.
Right.
Because 2,500, I mean, like, it's a small budget, so you got to be super effective with using it. So we'll just go to add name. We'll search for this guy, the white, and we'll just deselect these. We'll refresh. For whatever reason, it's not pulling it in. Let's do that again. Oh, it must not be named the same. Maybe not. Let's double check. Okay, it's definitely named the same. All right, so what we'll do is we'll just rank it by ad name since that's not pulling in.
Okay.
There it is. See how it went to the top?
Yep.
Okay, there's no purchases on this guy. And it's spent collectively $11, no purchase, no thanks. So we'll just go back to what we were working on, which might be gone, which shouldn't be though. It says it's in draft. There it is. Sometimes you have to refresh just to get this thing to repopulate again.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind. And we'll just grab this one because you saw had no purchases. Only $11, that's nothing. Yeah, it's probably not accurate data at all. Probably could end up performing really well, but we already know others have gotten purchases. So it's like, what's the upside? What's the risk versus reward? Probably not likely, and probably not as much as what we could do with these others. So we'll just use that as our data analysis there and remove it. All right. So we'll stick with these three. If you had a larger budget, we'd certainly keep it, but we really don't have time for that.
Right.
So we have these three, and those are the three we'll go with. Then we'll duplicate again. Once more, duplicate, same audience or same campaign, and the only difference is we're creating the add to cart, which is the only other one we're going to do for the lookalikes because that's the one that has a good amount of data to some degree. 300 in this context is good for what the pixel had. 30-day. Lookalike, create audience. Make sense?
Yep. Then just gotcha. Chase, who was your mentor? Who'd you learn all this stuff from?
I've been doing this for 5 years, so it's just kind of you kind of learn things over a long period of time. There was no dedicated person in the space 5 years ago. And that is that portion. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, so you can add more lookalikes once you have it, but these will be fine for now. And since we have 2 audiences here,
Mm-hmm.
2 is not much. And so like when you have this many audiences, it makes sense to have the ad set level budget here because you can like tweak, change, update it, and you can actually move a little bit faster than the algorithm could because the algorithm's deciphering between all of these ad sets plus all of the ad variations in between, which is a lot of work to do for a small budget. So a human mind can execute this much faster. But when you only have 2, it's very easy for the Facebook algorithm to say, okay, I could pretty much figure out which audience is better and push the spin there for you. So what we're actually going to do, since we're only going to stick with 2, is just switch this to a CBO. And we'll just set the budget to 20 because if we're doing 10 per ad set, if we've been following that pattern previously for this ad account, then we'll just do 20 because it's 10 times 2, essentially. Then we'll just rename it to CBO lookalikes.
Mm-hmm.
And now that'll allow the algorithm to choose which one's best for you. So you don't have to move the budget.
Okay, gotcha.
Review and publish, and that's done.
So I don't have anything else to do with that then? It's all published?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay. Then I got
He's pretty happy right now, so it's a good thing.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that the results are heading in the right direction.
Yeah, everything's improved since we started. The cost per click has gone down. Obviously, getting more purchases.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure you're pretty happy too with all the additional rev coming in.
Yep, for sure.
And it's just time to scale it up so you can make some more.
Yeah, so the only thing I changed the entire week was the pumpkin spice wasn't doing well, so I killed those.
Okay.
And some of the ads with the D's nuts got I just killed those because they weren't performing well. It's the wax one that's doing really well. It's this one.
Okay. And that's essentially what they told you is that they sell a lot of wax.
Yeah, it's mainly these are all wax tarts that are being sold. So
Makes sense.
yeah, and that one's just I guess you consider the bulldog. It's just the engagement on that one's insane. It just keeps building.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I set up 2 retargeting ads.
Great.
One for the engagement, and then I set up one more today for the add to cart because we're getting add to carts as well. There's probably like $700 a day left in the carts.
700 a day left in cart.
700 in sales left a day in carts.
Okay, then yeah, you definitely need to spend more on that.
Okay, and then I set up the website visitor 30 days.
Because you're fighting a battle with $10. I've seen people put $10 in a vending machine just for a cola.
The issue is I don't know where to put the money. That's the thing, is I can't go over and spend, at least for now. I could probably talk to him about increasing it since it's going well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about maybe we can shift some budget away from something or find some opportunities here. I already see a few things that make sense to do.
Okay.
For instance, like that whiskey test, I'd cut that one.
Cut that one?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because like if you're not getting a purchase by, I'd say like the $6 mark here, it looks like, then there's no sense in running it. Like your new rule, anytime you launch an audience, you want to purchase within $6, no doubt.
Gotcha. We actually were running a one for a spray that's called Log Fog, and it's literally a picture of poop on there, and the ad copy was just like, "This is horrible, this is gross," but it wasn't getting any sales. It was getting a ton of clicks, but we just killed it because it was getting no sales.
Yeah. Okay. For the candle and the lookalikes, the view contents, that 1%, that 2% is working really well.
Yeah.
You see those 2?
Yeah.
You need to continue following that pattern. The lookalikes are clearly going to be the winners. And I remember on our original call that, interest or what you're going to test first, build up the side data, but eventually you only want to be doing lookalikes, and this is the prime example for why.
Right.
$5, it only goes downhill in terms of cost from there, which is a good thing. And then the only thing that goes up is purchases, which is great.
Right.
So you need to start shifting towards that. Like you're spending a lot on Cincy.
Mhm.
So I would take $5 from that. So scale it back 5 and put that 5 in the CBO for the lookalikes. And I would also, because I'm assuming you're on a capped budget, right? So we have to
Yeah.
choose wisely. Yeah. So I'd put that there. Then I'd go back to your interest testing. And I would take some from the candle. I'd take $10 from that one. Or maybe just the 5 actually, because they're at, no, never mind, take 10 because it's at 974 and these others are at $5. So definitely not worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, take 10 and go put it in the other one.
In the retargeting or the
No, lookalikes, take it to 50.
okay.
50 a daily should get you at least 10 purchases once the costs drop down a little bit longer.
So refresh.
If it froze, then yeah.
All right, take this to 50.
Yep. And then you're going to go in your retargeting and turn off that engagement.
Shut off the engagement one.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
It's been 16. You think a cold audience getting a $6 purchase is going to be better than a retargeting? No, it shouldn't. A retargeting should never cost more, ever. So if it does this case, then it's got to go. And it's probably not working just because this is such a highly engaged ad that, not every person will buy. They're just engaging because it's fun, So
Right.
it's probably just wasted dollars for those people that just love to engage with it. Yep. And then once that's published, it looks like none of the edits we're making have been officially published. So you might want to do that after the call. If it might be a connection issue, not sure.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else needs to be changed with that then?
No, just go ahead and filter by active on the ad set level here. Oh, but I guess it won't actually register without it publishing. Okay. Yeah, so once you publish that, just like reactivate it by active, just like filter by active to see exactly what your cost went down to. But I mean, that's going to make a big difference for sure.
All right. I don't know how long my Wi-Fi is going to be, so do you want to just?
Those are the main recommendations. We got them all.
Okay. Cool. Gotcha.
Sweet. Awesome.
Perfect.
Things are looking good here and they're heading on the right track.
All right. And then the other thing.
I would definitely reach out to him and get approval for a larger budget. I'd ask for double. What are you spending right now?
He's 2,500 for the month. We're spending about 83 a day.
Okay, ask him to double his budget to 5,000.
Okay.
And then tell him that costs are heading in the right direction. Things are getting better, and with the added spend, you could tap into a lot more lucrative audiences. And if he's game for it, then good.
So if he says, okay, sure, let's do it, am I just putting more money into what's working, or are we adding more?
You're going to be putting more money into what's working, and then you're going to be going heavy on the lookalikes because you see it's working here. So I mean, a lot more spend towards lookalikes is going to do wonders.
Okay, got you.
You're not going to be doing this. You're not going to be able to match what he does on Amazon without spending a lot more. So we got to scale. So going to 5K is the next bet, and I'd go get approval for that.
Okay, so much easier with Amazon. The card's already in there.
Yeah.
And then I launched the Bada Bean ads, We got 8 purchases in 2 days.
Okay.
You want to look at that now, or?
Yeah, I would open up another tab because I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pain in the ass.
Good job.
It was going crazy. We had, I think, end of the day with $670 in sales or something.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. You know, since we started this thing, results have only been getting better by the day.
Every single day, the cost per click goes down almost 10 cents.
That's the beauty of this structure and this process. It's ever improving.
Yeah, and then this morning I woke up and we had close to 450 just from like the time I went to bed until I woke up at 7 a.m.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
And the other thing is, I always notice, I guess probably just the way, because a lot of the people that are buying are older, but usually like the middle of the day slower than at night. It usually picks up a lot again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I don't know if we should change anything, leave it. I talked to him about spending more, and he was down for the idea. He just wants to figure out like how much he wants to put in.
Yeah, and did you tell him?
Yeah, I was like, listen, and he's like, yeah, this is going really well. He's like, I didn't expect this to go well. He's like, we do well on Amazon, and that's because people have their credit cards in. And he said he's so surprised that a lot of people are buying, and he with him he gives free wax melts in every order. So he's been giving them like 3-4 different flavors or scents, I mean, so they can try them out. Hopefully, like it or order more. But he said,
that's amazing.
He said he's very surprised and he's very happy with the way it's going.
Good. Yeah, that's good to hear. So after we spoke yesterday, we made those changes, and you said that evening you saw a lot more purchases come through, and then over through the night.
Yeah, last night we had a lot.
Okay. So the shifting of the budgets really helped then.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then this morning we're up to almost $500 in sales already.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, let's look at what we can do next steps wise. Did you get approval for the budget or?
Not yet. I just texted him about an hour ago because last night he's like, just give me a day or so to figure out how much we should put in.
Okay. And you should just text him like 2,500. Let's do that for the rest of this week. Then next week, let's double it to 10,000.
Okay. And the other thing is,
dude, these people don't mind. Like you say something like that, like if you just like give out the straight number, I guarantee you they'll probably just be like, all right, done, do it.
Right. And especially because this is the perfect timing for everything. Everything's getting. I mean, we might not have the same results in February as we would do right now in the next month. So it's a perfect time.
Well, what's really interesting is, I bet right now you would have the same results in February, but next month in December you're going to have results so extremely high. It's going to be unreal when you're looking at the return on ad spend.
Yeah.
Because the way it's all structured, it is going to scale, and it is going to scale hard.
And yeah, you look at the cost per result the last few days, it's getting down. Like today, I think maybe.
Well, this one's different. Yeah. If we look at the overall right now, it's at a 6.4, but we do have one recommendation here, which is cutting Cincy.
Okay.
Let's just double check the ads real quick in here. Yeah. We should just cut this one. I bet there's a lot of people just targeting this in general, so it's probably just spiking your cost.
I have a question. So for the wax melts that's doing really well, that has, the 200 comments, 200 shares, do all the ad sets with the same ad go to that one engagement or no? If that makes sense. It's probably worded kind of weird.
Say it again.
So, that one ad that I sent you that has all those engagements and shares?
Yes.
Which ad set is that under?
It should be under all of them.
So it's under all of them, right? So if you just shut off Cincy, it'll still be under Candle?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, gotcha. I just didn't.
Yeah, we stacked it that way.
Okay, cool.
So we'll cut this one. And then we'll double check to make sure it's under Candle, which it should be. Yeah, there it is.
He just had an order right now. He always texts me. He's like, hey, we're getting orders. This is great.
Text him back saying, hey, I'm ready to spend 5,000 this week.
Okay. And the other thing is that's good for me because if we're doing a per unit thing, that's more money spent to get me more sales, you know?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to help you with.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the Kindle Daddy. Oh, that one's off. Okay, so let's just turn that campaign off.
So what were you saying about December and November, just like in terms of spending? You said numbers last night that I had to go back and watch the video on what you said. You were saying spend $5,000 a day.
Yeah, 5,000 daily on peak buying days. A peak buying day is like uh, December 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
And this
Those,
shipping gets in 2 days too, which is good.
yeah, so like those are peak buying days. It's like peak buying days are last minute shoppers, and those people are the most extreme impulse buyers because they're last minute and they have either no idea what to buy or they're just getting online and boom, as soon as they see the ad, they're like, oh, this is perfect, I'm getting it. Like there's no thought process, it's just instant buys, and it's called peak buying days. And you could
And
spend 5 to 10,000 per day and easily net over 100 grand or 60 to 100K plus, I'd say. If you're spending 5 to 10,000, 60 to 100K is reasonable to assume you could get per day.
and this is the perfect last minute gift, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So like that's why it'd be perfect to do this. But in order to do something like that, we have to start pushing budget now. Like we want to be, I mean, to be spending that much daily, you don't just do it in one, from one day to the next. You have to start now, which is okay. We need to go to 5,000 this week, and then we need to go to 10,000 the following, and then get up to that.
Can't just go all in at once, right?
Yeah.
Screws it
Otherwise,
up.
yeah. Well, you also don't even know if you have an audience that's even capable of that, and we have to find them. Like we need to get these up to the 10%. We got to really push this bar.
So where would you shift the budget then if he says, okay, tonight let's approve? We're good to go.
What you do is you double this to 100.
Okay.
And then what would that do to the budget? 50 times 30. I mean, that's 1,500. Yeah, so you'd double that to 100, and then you'd put it in the retargeting. You would take your retargeting and you would double both of these to 20.
Okay.
And then you would add another audience. Let's see here. You'd add another audience based on content views, 14 days into your retargeting, 14-day content view at 20 daily. And that would end up taking care of your budget for you. See, it's really not that much if you think about it. I mean, 2,500 like that is gone.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. And then, so when would you suggest start to introduce the Christmas scented melts and candles? When do you think should be the big push? Obviously, he needs to increase the budget right now, but when would you say, like, you talk about these peak buying days? When's like the season of saying, okay, let's really go hard now? Besides right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be a couple weeks into, December. Like you'd have we would launch at the beginning of December or maybe around the 7th of December. You would launch all those Christmas related ones if he has them, and just have them all running just to flush out which ones are going to be the sellers. And then when you scale up, you'll at least know.
Chase, I love that call last night. It was good. I like this 2 day a week process that we're doing for sure.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted you to be a part of join the program in that case, because it's much better to do it this way because we can go over it every single week.
Every other person that I've signed up for, because I paid for a few courses, none of them are hands-on like this. A lot of them just have like pre-recorded trainings, and then you got to kind of learn on your own. If you have questions, ask a group. But like this, I feel like it's more one-on-one. Definitely worth the money, for sure.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
All right, so then the other account is the Bada Bean guy.
Real quick, I just want to filter this by active.
Okay.
And then this one's now at 615. And let's cut these
Okay.
and just bring it down to that $5.99. Like, let's save, 16 cents here at least per purchase. I mean, 16 cents per purchase. You have 9 purchases. That's more than $1 that you lost here. What is $1 that
Right.
could have went to a purchase? And then that brings you down to 485, which should bring your return on ad spend up more. And then retargeting here.
How low per purchase do you think we could get it to?
I think that where it's at is actually fine. I think it's at a very reasonable cost per purchase, because people are buying a lot more once they get to the site.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Cost
it's
per-
a good cost per purchase. I mean, it could certainly go down, but I mean, I wouldn't expect it to drop anything below 285.
Plus the average order value is $30 right now. So
Yeah, and it's going to grow.
okay.
Okay, yeah, so this is looking much better. What's this one here?
And
Let's
learning
go.
limited doesn't really mean much. Yeah. It's okay.
No, you're going to exit Learning Limited here once you get a budget approval, because when you double it to 100, you'll exit Learning Limited out of these campaigns, which is going to make your results even better.
Okay. This guy was so hesitant to do ads.